FlossTube, it's Jess, the librarian stitcher lady. Sorry about my absence for a little bit. Life has been busy. So I wanted to get on here and do my April update, my beginning of April update, and let you know what's going on in my life, because like I said, it's very busy. See, personally, today I just went to a gold award ceremony for one of my Girl Scouts, and I got to pin her and say some things about her. My daughter was the MC, and some other girls were the color guard, and you know, it was fabulous. But it did make me realize how bad my daughter's uniform looks right now. So I wanted to show you this. So I don't know if any of you have heard of Badge Magic. That is what I used since she's been in kindergarten. And with Girl Scouts, you get a new uniform every 2 years until you hit middle school. So we are almost 5 years in on the same vest, and Badge Magic is not meant to last that long. Things have been steadily falling off of this vest this year, and it's really making me mad. Every time she loses something, I'm just like, oh my God. Because I know the task in front of me is huge. I have gunked up my needle on my sewing machine today as I fixed some of her stuff. So let me show you what kind of situation we're talking about here. So my daughter's uniform, this is the back, and I still have about 20 patches to put on. So they're gonna overlap. I started sewing some on and tacking them on and stuff, but too little too late, because I have to fix all of these. I've started at the bottom and got a couple fixed, but the front is super important right now because of her badges. This is completely machine sewn over the Badge Magic, and then some are by themselves. And what I got going on is the ones with Badge Magic, it gets all gunked up and messes up the bottom, the bobbin, okay? They're still on, and I'm gonna take that as a win because I know it could be worse. But I'm just slowly going through everything. But this is cadets, and this is seniors, and she's bridging to ambassadors this summer. So I need room up here for more badges. So we got to rethink. Oh, a number fell off. Her council patches have fallen off. I took all the pins off so they didn't annoy me or get in the way. But I'm kind of contemplating shifting, except Badge Magic leaves a residue. So I might have to just live with this the way it is and sew over. So I ran out of white thread today, which is what I was using on all the patches or badges down here, because it doesn't stand out very much, but I think it would stand out a lot up here. So since I'm out of the white anyway, I might as well go to the store tomorrow and get some white, and then get some green and maybe some other colors. The back doesn't matter, it can be all white, I don't care, but I just want this to look good. And I'm not sure how to do this one, because that's going to be so fussy and turning, and this is a pain to maneuver on the sewing machine because I'm trying to roll it up and fit it through. So when I get around to doing more of these, that's going to be a problem. So yeah, if you have any advice on this, please, I'm all ears. Put it down in the comments. I would appreciate it so much. And for me to give advice to anybody else, Badge Magic is fine until they get to middle school, then start sewing them on. Because if they're gonna be in for the long haul, it matters. It really does. And I regret having not done that from the get-go. I never understood why they stay khaki for middle school and high school. That's 3 levels. They were 3 levels in elementary school, and they had 3 different uniforms. I mean, Girl Scouts does not make this cost effective for parents at all. My daughter's also in BSA Scouts, and honestly, that's a lot easier, even though they could grow out of their uniform. They could, which is bound to happen. But I mean, this is nuts. anyways, so that's what happened today. It was really nice to see my Girl Scout get her gold award, and all the nice things people had to say. I've only known her for the past 3 years. They joined in 7th grade, her and her mom, because her mom's a leader, and I don't know what I'd do without her mom. She's so meticulous on details that I am not. I am so not. It was funny because 2 other people spoke before me. One, she worked with on encampment, so my Girl Scout was the girl leader for encampments, and she worked with this parent and who's also a leader. And then another woman who is the registrar and also worked with her on stuff for our service unit. They had prepared speeches and on paper and everything like that. And me, I just wing it. I was like, this, you can see the difference between us for sure. And my co-leader was quiet today. She lost her dog over the weekend. So she's like, I'll pin her, you talk. I'm like, I can do that. I'm a good talker. So yeah, it was a really nice event. And you don't see that for girls doing the gold award honors like that. You do for Eagle. It's expected that you would have an Eagle ceremony when you earn your Eagle. And you know, my daughter has gone to many of those ceremonies, and we've never heard about girls doing a gold award one for Girl Scouts. So the Girl Scout who got the gold award first in my troop, you know, she's setting the stage for all the girls after her. So you know, I'm kind of glad she did this because it reminds us that this is important. It's every bit as challenging as an Eagle Scout. There are differences between the two, but you know, they're both very prestigious awards and deserve the same amount of attention. So anyways, I'll get off that soapbox because I can go all night about Girl Scouts and gold awards and Eagle Scouts and all that kind of stuff. So how about I show you some finishes? I have, nothing's fully, well, one thing is technically fully finished only because of the nature of the project. So, I've told you before that the EGA, which is the Embroiderers Guild of America, I forgot what they stood for a second there. That's just nuts. We were contacted by one of the historical houses in Annapolis to do a beginning embroidery class. And I'm part of the outreach group, and I volunteered to teach. Now, I don't do a ton of embroidery. I know how to embroider, but I've never like done it as much as I do cross stitch. So I wanted to really make sure I got the sample right and that it looked good, and that, you know, they would learn something. So I decided we were going to do hankies, and I used a vintage hanky to embroider to give it a Jane Austen kind of feel even more. And this one came with, you know, the tatting, you know, around the edges and stuff. I think I got this at the Annapolis Antique Mall. It's a lovely junky place. I love it, every bit of it. It's so, you know, higgledy-piggledy kind of thing. And but I did find some hankies there. So I decided to go on a corner. I thought that would be easy for folks to do. And this is what I came up with. So we're gonna do some lazy daisies. That's what these are, the flowers. I'm gonna attempt to teach them how to do French knots. I'm gonna give them some practice material that they can practice each of these stitches before they commit to their hanky. I'm gonna teach them the fishbone leaves. So that's what those are. And then this, I just did a simple back stitch. So, and the letter up here is a back stitch. So I need to draw this out and make copies. And then I need to get a cursive alphabet so that they can copy a shape onto their piece. If they want to do Jane, they can do J for Jane Austen, or they could do their own initial. Mine happens to be the same, so I'm very lucky there. But I think it came out really well. I was very pleased to do this. I finished it at Cottonwood. I was over there. I stitch there like twice a week now. I just go hang out. It's kind of fun. But I kind of crashed the owner, Julie's quilting bee, and they let me sit at the table. And they were all doing show and tell, and I was sitting there just embroidering. So it was a lot of fun to talk with all the ladies and to see the amazing quilts they make. I mean, I'm probably never going to be able to do that, but I can aspire. Anyways, but there is a finish. I'm very proud of that. Another finish I have that I don't have with me, but I will put a picture right here. I'm gonna do an embroidery class also at Cottonwood, and we're gonna do mini hoops. So we're gonna show how you can turn them into jewelry. And that was all done with just a couple skeins of floss and some green fabric I found in their pre-owned section, and then the little hoops. I like all the various sizes of them, or the shapes rather. I think it's really, really sweet. So I'm looking forward to that. That's in May, I think May 18th. So if you're local, definitely go to cottonwoodinthepark.com and check out their classes. They have so many interesting classes. I signed up for one on April 26th. I've decided not to spend the whole day at the Girl Scout event. You know, it's my daughter's show. She's in charge of that event, and I'm trying not to step on her toes. And you know what? That's totally fine. I'm gonna go the night before, help with setup, and stay the night so that they have a leader with them, and then I'll come back and get her later. So, but I'm looking forward to the class at Cottonwood that I'm attending. It's gonna be a felt flower wreath. Basically, it's felt flowers. There's some material in an embroidery hoop, and I'm pretty sure it's all attached on the side of it. It's not a complete wreath, but it looks lovely. I've made some similar things before, and I will have fun doing that one there. All right, so yes, gotta finish. All right, so some of my other finishes, I finished a needlepoint. This one was called Plain Fun. It was a Frida's Fancy, I don't have it here, Frida's Fancies, I think it was. It's just Plain Fun is what it's called. And it uses a Sahara Sunrise watercolor by Karen. So that's what all the variegation is, and you see it in here. But isn't that fun? The colors are so soft. So I got the pattern and the canvas in a swap at the Camp Wanna Stitch back in January. And all I had to do was buy 3 skeins of some Pearl number 8, I believe, and some Karen watercolor. And that was it. That's all I had to do. So I think it turned out really well. I think it's fun. And it's getting me used to doing the different needlepoint stitches. I can't tell you what all these are. I'm trying to remember the names of them as I go, and it's really hard. I know these are like rays, a ray stitch, because it's like sun rays, I guess. These I think are, I don't know if they're Rhodes. They're like little twisty ones. This is a Norwich stitch. There's a lot of weaving in on every turn, so I forgot a couple times. I had to go back and undo. I think this triangle right here is called a Spratt's triangle, and then there's just the triangle, which is here. This one is a quad. That one's a quad. And then again, I think that's a Rhodes. This is like a slanted goblin. And obviously you have the big cross stitch and the back stitch. And there's some back stitch in between here as well. Some pink is in there. So, yep. I'm addicted to the needlepoint now. I am scouring for all kinds of patterns, and I'll show you a couple that I bought. But my other finish, I was very, very proud of. I got tired of seeing these in my to-do bin and never touching them, being like, oh, when I get time, I'll do it. I just decided to put everything else away, and I would do it. It's these kits from Waddle and Loop, and I see them advertised. You probably see them too. And this one is the Tree Peony, and here it is. So you had to cut everything out. They have a pattern. I cut up the pattern, then I traced all the little pieces of material they had in the kit. And then I used a fabric glue stick and put them on. I did fudge a little. I added a couple other petals because when I finally glued them down, I wasn't quite exact in my placement. So I needed to add a little bit. I think I added this one and maybe that one right there to cover a little spot. Yeah, but I think it turned out really well. It's meant to be very abstract and messy look to it. Everything has been stitched. Every leaf is stitched in some way or another. Every petal is stitched, and then the middle has that, and the middle's been frayed, the fabric has, and then stitched on top. So, and then I put my initials down in the bottom. So I'm excited about that. I don't know how yet I'm gonna frame them. I'm thinking one of those glass frames where it's floating, because I wanna show the whole piece. You know, and it's also because it goes off, you know, it goes over the edge. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. So those are my 3 big finishes. Oh, you know what I forgot? I should go get it. I started a new stitch along and I forgot to bring it over here. So let me go grab that. Hang on. Okay, I am back. So the stitch along that I joined and I am determined to keep up with, thankfully it's only for this month and next month. It is the one by Historical Sampler Company, Historical Sampler. I don't know, I'll show you. Historical Sampler Company. It is for their Secret Garden stitch along. So let me show you what I have done. The middle section was the first section. Let's see. So there's supposed to be 2 birds on top, but they were cut off and in the next sections that they'll give us. So I decided not to do them at all because it would drive me nuts to have a partially completed bird on each side. I would worried about what it would look like to stitch after stopping. I don't know, it's probably silly, but I just didn't feel like leaving something unfinished, you know? So got a cute little bird house and some flowers, and these are little bees. Look at the little bees. Aren't those cute? I think they're precious. And then some flowers up at the top. So I'm excited. Anything that's got a literary tie to it, I have to do, honestly. And I did see part of the pattern. I think the first one first. I saw somebody working on it and I was like, you know what? I like that. I'm gonna do it. Because, you know, you're always wondering about stitch alongs if you're gonna like the pattern or not. I've bought some in the past that I haven't liked, so this was nice. The bag I'm put it in is from 805 Stitcher, and it is the Peter Rabbit bag. It wasn't in the big size. It's like in a medium size, which that's all she had left. But I really like it. And I got onto them because of Pam and Steph. And they got one of these too. And I love, like I said, literary connections. Beatrix Potter signed me up. So I was very happy to get this. And the Secret Garden lives in here until, hopefully, until it's finished. So there's that. Okay. Just make a pile in front of me. Oh, another finish I have. It's not cross stitch finish. It's project bag. I did make myself another patriotic bag. I now have 2. And this one of my better ones. A little tugging on when I did the quilting part of it first. Sometimes in the corners, like it just kind of looks like it's folded over a little bit. But for the binding, you know, it was pretty good. There's no buckles in any of it. This corner is a little wonky, and that's it. I have to say I'm really good at zippers. If I do say so myself. I do very well on those. And I think it's because I don't have a zipper foot on my machine, and I'm not using a walking foot. So I put the edge of my presser foot against the zipper, and I adjust the needle closer, and that's how I get, and it keeps me straight, and it keeps it really nice. So yeah, I'm very excited. It's a good one. If I hadn't run out of thread, I would have made 3 more that I have here. I'll show you. I have 3 zippers for it that I got at Joann's when they were doing their closeout stuff. But I posted one of these on my Instagram because I wasn't sure if I should use a blue zipper with this Rome map material. This is, I think, from Tim Holtz. And I don't have a red zipper. That looks good with this. So I'm doing this blue because of the river, and hopefully that'll work out. The companion material is this red color. And what's cool about this is it's got these, like everything Tim Holtz does has some kind of ephemera, beaten up look to it. And it's got these letters and numbers on them in 2 different places. So I didn't realize it was on there because when I got the fat quarter, you couldn't see it. So it'll look really good with this. This will be the inside, and this will be the back and the trim and the zipper area. So I already have them pre-cut, ready to go. Let me put that in front of me here so I can stack everything up. I have the 2 zipper pieces ready to press and fold and do the zipper. So put those there. The only thing I haven't cut is the vinyl, and I'm trying to decide. I got interfacing at Joann's as well, but I kind of, you know, the thick quilted stuff I got from the quilt shop, I kind of like that thickness, that pad. So I don't know if what I'm gonna do. I can try one without it and see. I don't know. So this one, another Tim Holtz. So it's got tickets all over it. And the companion color is a light pink. Let me get it here. Architectural kind of thing. And you can kind of see it's like a very faint toile. That's what it makes me think of. But more architectural based, more like less of a scene kind of thing. And it looks really good with next to this, so I think that'll be really fun. And then, see, I keep starting all these projects, which is why I need more project bags. So, and then there's always pretty fabrics at the quilt shop, so I can't resist. Especially this next one. This is stunning fabric. I mean, how fun is that? This beautiful sunflower, and then I have this hot pink to go with it. Okay. And then like I said, I already cut the zipper thing, or cut the zipper parts. And I'm gonna use a green zipper on the sunflower, and I have like a dark rose zipper that will go well with the ticket one, and then the blue one for the Rome. So I'm very excited about getting these done. I would have had them done if it wasn't for the Girl Scout vest. So that is a problem I have to solve tomorrow. Okay. Some whips that I worked on. Let's see. First one is my Meta cross stitch that cross stitch Jess started for her birthday. It was to take anything about stitching and stitch it. So I did the Queen of Scissors, and this is where I'm at right now. The teacup was a pain. It's very detailed in there with the dark gray charcoal stitches in a pattern, and then the white stitches. But stitching with 1 over 1 on this very kind of loose, this is 25 count, that it slips in between. So I had to go over some stitches because I got tired of taking them out, honestly, because they would slip vertical or horizontal depending on which way the material was going. And you know, it's not going to be technically the best, but it will look fine and it will look wonderful and I will enjoy it. So she's going to be surrounded with a bunch of scissors, and I still have to do her head and stuff. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at. Queen of Scissors. I hope to have that finished soon. So definitely by the end of this month, I think. I think that would be good. I did get some time in on my Wizard of Oz, well, Emerald City, I should say, from Owl Forest Embroidery. I got a whole bunch of stuff that's like cascading down right here. So, yeah, I decided since I finished the needlepoint, yeah, and I finished the hanky, that I would pick up one of my older whips and get some work done. And it had bugged me. I'd worked on this a couple times and hadn't finished this section. So the pattern for Owl Forest Emerald City, it's like several vignettes all the way around the Emerald City, right? So I was able to finally finish the wizard. So as you can see, so yesterday I was able to stitch whatever jar this is with spikes all over it. I stitched, did I stitch that one? No, I stitched this side and that one. I did his hat, put his hair on, did his eyes and a smile. I did the little swirly thing, the glasses, the little snowflake up there. And yeah, that's what I did. And then you can see the monkey and stuff. So I have switched out some colors because it didn't look as good on this fabric. This is like a green dyed fabric, and one of the grays that it originally called for didn't show up very well. So like his wings are not supposed to match certain things. So we all make adjustments as we go, right? The next bit of pattern is going to be the hot air balloon, and I'm very excited about that. It looks super pretty, but that is for next month, getting one more section of the Wizard of Oz finished. And then, oh, like I said, it's from Owl Forest. So if I were to do one section each month, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's if you count the yellow brick road as its own section, and then these two as separate sections. So it could take another year if I just do one a month. It just depends. I do like to go to retreats with some of my whips and really put in the work on them. So maybe that will be something I work on. Who knows? And then today what I was working on was Primrose Cottage Free Stitch Friday was the St. Patrick's Day one last month that I never got finished. So let me get my threads off because I was actively doing it today. So what I have done today is I finished the clover and totally effed it up and just kind of ignored the pattern after that. I realized after the fact that I started this whole thing one stitch too close to the middle. It should have been out one more. And then I messed where I stopped last month and started this time. I got all crazy and it just wasn't working. So I just kind of made up the end of it and said it looks fine. And then I did all of this right here. And then like the little yellow thing and the yellow thing there and there. So yeah, so now I'm putting the letters day, St. Patrick's Day. And then what else was on there after that? There's not much. I'm hoping to get this done very soon. Ooh, I could have lost the needle. That would have been bad. So after day is a horseshoe, another clover, and a horseshoe. So 3 more items. Just like the in front of day is a clover cauldron, or pot, I should say. Not a cauldron. And then another clover. So yeah, that'll be fun. Let me get this back on there. I like having my pattern folded up on there. It's very handy, so I don't have to keep referring to it on another place. So this is how I stitch a lot of things. It's just like this. So, yep. But I think it's looking good. I'm pleased. And I don't know if I showed you last month my lucky day I finished as well. So yeah, I'll figure out what to do with that. I'm not good at finishing, so I have to get help on that. I have a friend who does it, but I don't want to have to pay every time, and you know, I don't know. So, and that's in my nice St. Patty's Day bag from, I forget who. Okay. I got into some trouble, y'all. You know, I started market season just getting like 4, and then I got all the things, I swear. I got way too many things. So, I'm gonna show you this. It's too much stuff. So, of course, I had to get the little Stacey Nash frog cracker, and I have the other one too in here. I don't know where. And then this one I keep seeing, and I saw somebody use a fabric called Grandpa's Sleeve or something, and it's all mottled with drips and whatnot, and it's on Etsy. I'll link it below. I'm thinking of doing that one because I really liked the aesthetic it gave it. So I really like this one. I have a thing about birds, but also it's in wellies. I think it's so cute. And then there's daffodils, which I love daffodils. They're my favorite flower, and they happen to be the birth flower for both my kids. And I have them tattooed on my arm right here. So there's 2 of them there, and my kids are like, which one's the big one and which one's the little one? I'm like, they don't necessarily exactly represent you. It's just I had 2 for 2. But yeah, whatever. So very excited about that one. I didn't get this one ahead of time. I think I ended up buying it. Yeah, I bought it at the Stitching Post after market was over because I just had to in the end. It was about libraries. It's heartstring samplery. Samplery. It's an ode to libraries. The very existence of libraries affords the best evidence that we may yet have hope for the future of humanity. So I believe that wholeheartedly. And that one I'm excited about as well. And I finally got my Appalachian Strong. So I'll do that one for my mother-in-law. Ardith Designs for her Chesapeake Treasures. I have the crab in this series, so I thought that one would be fun too. Erin Elizabeth and her lemon stuff. I got the home, and I got her tiered tray because I have a thing for tiered trays. Not that you would know, my house is an utter mess all the time, so it's crazy. This one is from JBW Designs. It's a little bluebird kit that I'm gonna make for a friend. Little Robin Designs. I like this one because samplers are beautiful, but they're intimidating and huge. I give it to all of you who do samplers on a regular. That's just nuts. But what appealed to me was that this was smaller, and I just love how vivid the colors are. I mean, that just stood out to me. So this is gonna, if you do it, I mean, the stitch dimensions is 100 by 160. That's in my wheelhouse. And it's very much, you know, finish this and you feel accomplished. Finish this, you feel accomplished, you know. It does have a border, which, you know, sometimes can get very boring. But yeah, I'm excited about trying this. My only disappointment is that the pattern is in black and white. So that's a bummer. Coco's Garden, I just had to have it because of its fun shape. Ow. Oh, I just stubbed my toe on the chair. Sorry. Oh, could have been worse. Friends O'Plenty. I have a bit of an obsession with St. Patrick's Day. So while this is not straight up St. Patrick's Day, it is pretty darn close. And it will go well with that kind of theme. It could be up all the time though, which is lovely. I'm a big social justice person, so stuff like this appeals to me. This is the Silver Creek Samplers, Equal and Free. It's Rosa Parks getting on a bus. So that's lovely. Oh, here's the other Stacey Nash. It's Harriet. I like British things too. I have a lot of things I like, and my cluttered house reflects that. Oh, the new Prairie Schooler Santa. Isn't he cute? Should have made his eyes wider, like he was like, uh-oh, like somebody's about to get him, you know? I think that's fun. It looks like somebody is throwing snowballs at him. These were not part of the Nashville, but I did get my little houses for January, February, March, and no, this is March and April, and I see May is out now, so I will have to gather. I bought some from Paisley and Polka Dots to put them on and interchange them every month, so that'll be fun. Erin Elizabeth, Hello Winter. This one I'm excited about, another bird, very painting-like. So I think this one will be a good one. Winter Tree, I also bought that. So I want to be able to interchange those. And then last but not least, Jane Austen from Twin Peaks? Yeah, Twin Peak Primitives. So as you know, I have a big thing for Jane Austen, especially this year with her 250th anniversary of her birth. And it's also the 20th anniversary of the release of the Keira Knightley version of Pride and Prejudice. And I don't know if you knew this, but it's gonna be in theaters Easter weekend. So I already bought my tickets. We're gonna go to a local theater with a bunch of my friends from the quilt shop. And we're gonna do a candy salad. We're gonna have a lot of fun. My daughter's like, oh, I've never done a candy salad. I've only seen them online. I was like, well, now we get to do one. So it'll be fun to go see it, even though I just watched it the other day, and my daughter and I just finished watching the BBC version today. And then I also watched Sense and Sensibility today. So I'm getting all inundated. And then this right here is a Jane Austen quote. Nope, this one's Louisa May Alcott, never mind. This one says, she is too fond of books and it has turned her brain. Yes, I think all of us can agree to that sentiment. So, yay. I also got the cookbook, and I am going to endeavor to cook at least one thing out of here each month, and maybe stitch some of the things, because there's some really cute ones. Like this one was Teresa Koget's little basket of fruit. And what is it? What'd she make? Chicken chili. 8-can chicken taco soup, chicken bacon ranch soup, easy homemade ramen, nice. Cornbread salad, creamy butternut soup. I might have to try that one. We have a thing about butternut squash soup around here, so I make a pretty good one. All right, so yeah, we'll have to give those a try. Has anybody tried any recipes in here? Is there something that you absolutely think I should try first? Let me know. All right. I do have a stack of books here, but I think I'm going to save those for another time. Like I said before, I've really gotten into needlepoint, and I kind of went down a rabbit hole on eBay looking at old needlepoint patterns that are based on quilts. So that is a whole thing I have right here. But I'm going to save that for another day. Instead, I'm going to show you some other quick things. And then, you know, this doesn't need to be a super long episode. It's fine. Just check in. See what else has been going on in my life. My dog had to go for his ears. I think I told you last time. And I got to take him in again tomorrow. Oh, I don't have the pattern here for this. Okay, I'll save that one for another time. And he's horrible to give the medicine to. He really is. And now that we don't have the medicine, that we used all the actual antibiotic ointment that goes in his ears, all we have now is the cleaner and some like witch hazel wipes to clean his ear on the outside parts. But he's starting to flap his ears a lot. I think he has seasonal allergies too. So that might be playing a factor because it is like yellow dust out there. It's gross. My son doesn't want to go outside at all. His eyes have been really bad. I've felt it in my eyes, but I've never been as bad as my son. So we're just trying to make sure we stay medicated and, you know, not open the windows, which is why it's so warm in here right now. But the temperature is supposed to drop tonight, so hopefully the inside of the house will cool down too, and we can make it a little longer before we have to turn on the air conditioning. So, all right, so yes, I went on the eBay kick, and I did find a couple spring patterns for needlepoint that I am interested in. This one is called Spring Fling by Laura J. Perrin Designs. So, a lot of the same stitches. I do like they make up actual flowers. These are actual tulip looking type flowers. I like that. A lot of the same stitches I've done. It looks like there's some variegated thread in there as well. So I don't think it'll be anything too hard, but it's very pretty and spring-like. This one I was going back and forth on, and I have a thing for peonies because of my best friend. All right, so every time I see a peony, I think of her. I have 2 giant bushes out front. They get a little unwieldy that this year I have got to get some stakes on them with some string or some cage around the base of it so that they don't just flap over into the walkway. They get absolutely ginormous. It's crazy. But this is the Peony Collage. So I think this looks fun. It's got some different things. This is like a long kind of, I forget what that's called. I don't know. But some little flowers in here. This flower, of course, looks to be either tent stitch all of it or maybe some cross stitch. Some fun stuff up here. Oh, and these are flowers in here too. So, and then the whole background has got like a lattice thing going on. So that'll be fun. And it looks variegated. The lattice looks variegated. So I think that'll be cool. And then one last one, and that's also from Laura J. Perrin Designs. And another one I got was by Brenda Coker. It says an intermediate skill level. It's Silk Gauze Bargello Tulips. So I'm not gonna do this fringe like she did, or I don't know what she did around here. I'm not gonna do that. I don't think that's part of the needlepoint design. I just think it's how it's, that might be the fabric. Cause I think she's got it in a frame and this is the canvas it's on. I don't know. But I like the flowers. I think the colors are nice. And I can always change the colors too when I go and I see what they are. But there's a lot of silk gauze in there, and I've not used silk gauze before. I don't know. No, they're all called silk gauze. This is not a list of the threads. That is a list of her other patterns on the back. So she's got, what is this one called? Bargello Tulips, Tulip Garden, Carolina Lily, Florentine Iris, Bleeding Hearts, Baby Blocks, Noah's Ark, Twilight Garden. She's got a lot of them. So that's on my list now. And then I got this because it looks quaint and simple. You stitch it on perforated paper. It's 3 little quilts, and then also a background in the shadow box, it looks like. And then it does come with the twine and the clothespins to put it in the outside of the shadow box. And I think that's fun. I'm very enamored with quilts right now, as my eBay stack of books here will demonstrate. I don't know. I think it's going to be fun to try some, but I don't know. Definitely have to update the colors on these 70s patterns, that sort of thing. So we'll see how it goes. A couple more things I have here. I have a new project bag. Who made this? Siren Song Fabrics. I don't know if I mentioned the Hobbit one before. And the pattern I put inside is a free one I got, Neuschwanstein Castle, which I think will be cool. It's an old pattern. Oh, my kids just snuck by. It's an old pattern. Let me see. I don't know what year it's from. It's from Camelot Designs. Has a little history about how Disney Castle is based on Neuschwanstein. I've been there before, which is why I took it, because out of a swap, because I wanted to stitch someplace I had been. And I'm really bummed. My daughter was, normally the European tour she's going on would go to Neuschwanstein, but it's under renovations right now. So they're doing something else instead. I don't know yet what. I haven't paid attention lately, but I'm sure I'll find out soon, because it's coming up in like 2.5 months. And then I have to deal with being worried over my daughter being in another country. So she just went to Orlando with her band, and she had a lot of fun. She used her very first debit card. I got her a debit card so she could pay for things that she needed to, and gave her a budget. And they impressed me. They talked about, because they were at the park for like 4 days at Universal Studios, and they like scoped out all the souvenir places first, and then it wasn't until the last day that they bought their souvenirs. So she made sure to check different places to see if there was anything she would like better. She's way smarter than me, because I'm an impulse shopper. I'm just like, gimme, gimme, gimme. And then I see something I'd rather have later. So yeah, she did really good. Speaking of quilts and cross stitch, I splurged on this, the Bonnie and Camille quilt book. Maybe I'll make some of these quilt blocks in real life, like one-offs here and there. That might be fun. Or maybe I'll give it to my friends at the quilt shop, who knows. But I really got it for the cross stitch pattern in the back. Unfinished Stitches, the 2 women on that channel, they're in the middle of this right now. And I saw this before I saw their pieces on there. I just thought it was really cool. Or maybe they mentioned it and they had a little bit done. I don't know. Something got me onto this book. Excuse me. and I was very excited about it. It's so bright and colorful, and I think that would be a lovely stitch for in the summer. So I have most of the colors here already put aside, but I don't know. I have a couple others on my shopping list that I gotta get. And I want to finish something else before I start another big one. I just cannot get this in here. I am trying to decide what I'm gonna do as my birthday start. So my birthday is May 14th, and everybody seems to do a birthday start, and I thought I would too, but I don't know what I have so many things I like. I don't know. Another book I decided to get, and I can't remember where I saw this one. It's called The Stitching Across America, and it's got little mini national parks. And I love the national parks. I have been to several, and I have a couple on my list. I was gonna start with the Hawaii Volcano National Park, which we used to live in Hawaii, so that'll be cool. Dry Tortugas is in the back as well. I've been there a couple years ago. Shenandoah is in here. I mean, they're just beautiful. So, and my mother-in-law has been to some, and I know she'll want to use this book as well. I feel like they're very simple cross-stitch patterns too, very straightforward. So they'll be easy to stitch and hopefully stitch up quickly. So maybe I'll do one of those for my birthday. I don't know, but there's so many options. I did download that app to keep track of your projects, and now I forget what it's called. I have no idea. Hang on a minute. Let me look. Okay, sorry about that. It's Cotdtage Plus. It's Xstitch Plus. And I did pay for that app. I think I think you can use it limitedly for free, but I decided to pay for it once I realized how much it would help. So you can input all your charts in there. It has notes. It has a good database of designers. Like some of these old needlepoint things were in there, but not everything's in there. So they do have one that's called miscellaneous, and I'm gonna keep track of that, and then, you know, occasionally send them a note and say, hey, all these people should be in your database. And then when you're in one of those records, there's a spot at the top that says, it has a journal picture, and you hit journal, and that allows you to say, have you kitted it? Have you put it on your wish list to do soon? Have you started it? Have you finished it? Those kinds of things. And then you can put more notes about like the linen you used or the fabric you used or whatever. And then you can keep track of the ones that you have finished, and that's kind of nice to see that grow, you know. So definitely recommend that. It's called Xstitch Plus. All right, and it's kind of like a brownish color app, brownish tannish color app. So definitely worth getting. So to recap, if anybody has any information on stitching badges through Badge Magic, or any tips on dealing with that whole mess, I would appreciate any advice. I don't know. I think that's about it. Work's been going good. I have a Zentangles class this week. Oh, I have my EGA meeting tomorrow. Oh, I forgot another thing to show you. Another stitch. I finished the stitch, but now I've got to make the needle book that it goes on. So I will leave that for the next time. I've been put in charge with sharing it at the needlepoint interest group for EGA for this month, and I'm a little intimidated. I'm supposed to put together like a tip sheet, and yeah, And they're teaching me all kinds of stuff. I brought it, oh, and I forgot another project I made at a class. See, this is what happens when I just throw a episode of FlossTube together without making a list of what I'm supposed to be doing. But I went to a class and made a wonderful little stuffed cardinal out of felt, and I'll show it here. It was really cool. The branch was supposed to be made out of felt as well, but the teacher put hers on a stick like this, and I thought that was adorable. So mine is on a stick as well. And then that was part of EGA, a take-home project. They teach teachers at like our Camp Wanna Stitch retreat. They will teach somebody from each chapter a take-home class, and then they take it back to the chapter and then they teach it themselves. So it's kind of nice. I wasn't gonna be able to go to the original scheduled one because it was in January. It was on a weekend I was working, but we had a snow day. So it got canceled and postponed, and I was able to make it. Goodness. So that was exciting. And then, yeah, the needle book, I guess I'll wait to show you. I can show you the stitch part right here. Super sweet. Intimidating, hurt my fingers. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. But I'll have more on that when I finally get it done, which I have to get my machine up and running because I need to machine stitch part of the finishing on it. So hopefully that'll work out. Good luck to me, right? Cross fingers that it works out. I'm starting to really feel tired right now. It's crazy. What is it? Oh yeah, it's after midnight. Alrighty. So hopefully by Monday night, tomorrow, maybe like as you're now, I'll have this up because I am definitely going to bed. All right, you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow down below. And oh, comment, please comment. I love seeing comments. It's a lot of fun to meet everybody out there and to get to know you. I'm not all that great about getting on FlossTube and watching everything all the time. I've been reading a lot of audiobooks while I stitch lately. When I watch FlossTube, I get in trouble because I want to buy what you guys are stitching. And I have bought a lot in the last month, so need to calm down on that and stitch what I have. The only thing is, you know, if I don't have the fabric, then I'm just itching. Like I have 2 other Secret Garden patterns that I want to stitch simultaneously to the other Secret Garden one I have that I'm doing. Because I think that would be fun to have all 3 and to see them. They're all so different from each other. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll pick one of them for my birthday. I don't know. I'll pick all of them for my birthday, okay? We'll just start all the projects, one each day, okay? And I'll have enough whips to last me for the rest of the year. And then some. And then I got to make project bags for them. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. Unrealistic, I know. Okay, friends, this is how I am in real life. If we're saying goodbye, I will stand and talk with you for another half an hour in the freezing cold and not say goodbye. I do that all the time. So I have a Girl Scout leader meeting tomorrow. Probably do that afterwards, except my daughter will be with me and she'll need to get home. So, another yawn. Goodness. All right. See everybody later. Bye.